What if the Bible wasn't just a religious text, but an esoteric manual? A symbolic guide encrypted with mystery school wisdom. In today's deep dive, we'll explore the Gnostic and occultic rhetoric that is buried in the scriptures, tracing a hidden storyline of divine bloodlines, the enigma of the Rh negative blood, and the secret of raising the chrism oil, and how all of this connects to humanity's lost knowledge. It's time for us to peel back the veil in this multi-part series. So if you're loving this so far, make sure you're subscribing for the rest of the parts. Now, Gnosticism is an early Christian mystical movement which viewed the material world as a trap created by a false god, the demiurge. For Gnostics, the Bible wasn't a literal history book. It was coded language, a cipher. The stories we read as morality tales, they actually read them as metaphysical allegories. In Genesis, the serpent wasn't the villain. It was a liberator, the bringer of knowledge. The fruit from the tree of knowledge is gnosis, the spark of inner knowing that liberates the souls from the illusions of the flesh. In this view, Christ wasn't just a man. He was the archetype of divine consciousness that was awakened from within. Now, the idea of divine bloodlines echoes throughout the scriptures and the Apocrypha, and it takes on a whole new meaning in occult traditions. The book of Genesis mentions that the sons of God mated with the daughters of men, birthing the Nephilim, the Watchers. Now, this story isn't just about angels and giants, it's about genetic divergence. Now, some believe that this is the origin of a non-terrestrial bloodline, one that carried ancient knowledge, psychic ability, and esoteric power. Now, this leads into theories around the Rh negative blood group, a very rare blood group type without the rhesus monkey protein. Now, some researchers believe that this trait may point to an ancient outsider lineage. Why does Rh negative blood resist cloning? Why do Rh negative mothers sometimes reject Rh positive fetuses as if it's a foreign organism? Is this the hidden serpent seed? We're about to dive into one of the most powerful occult teachings of all, and this is about the chrism oil. Now, this is not widely known, but it is central to many of the mystery traditions. In occult anatomy, the chrism, or Christos oil, is said to be a sacred secretion from the brain, specifically the claustrum. Now, once a month, this oil travels down the spinal column, and if preserved through spiritual discipline, fasting, breathwork, and moral living, such as not masturbating or ejaculating or having an orgasm, it can rise again, illuminating the pineal gland. This process is referred to as raising the Christ, not an external Messiah, but the awakening of a Christ consciousness within the temple of the body. Your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, as they say in 1 Corinthians 6:19. Now, the crucifixion and the resurrection, this is an astronomical process where Christ is crucified on the sacral spine and resurrected in the brain through the optic thalamus. Golgotha, the place of the skull, was never just a location, it's a metaphor for spiritual enlightenment. Now, to the mystery schools of Egypt, Greek Christianity, the Bible was an alchemical text. Moses parting the sea was an allegory for dividing the lower and higher natures. The Ark of the Covenant talks about the brain guarding the law or the divine principles. Revelation is not about the end of the world, but about the inner apocalypse, the unveiling of the soul. The book of Revelation is filled with astrological and psychedelic imagery. 7 seals, 7 chakras. The dragon and the woman, the beast, it reads like a shamanic vision quest. Even the 12 disciples represent the zodiac archetypes, the 12 constellations revolving around the central sun, Christ. Gnostics taught that we are sparks of divine light trapped in a fallen, illusionary realm. The demiurge, often associated with Yahweh in extreme Gnostic thought, rules through deception, fear, and control. But the true God, the source, it's light, it's consciousness, it's gnosis. And our mission, hinted at in parables and visions, is to remember who we are, to awaken the divine DNA within, to reclaim our sovereignty from the illusions of empire, dogma, and flesh. So when we read the Bible through Gnostic and occultic eyes, we don't just see stories, we see codes. These are alchemical keys. They're messages for those who are ready to unlock them. The serpent becomes the teacher, the cross becomes the spinal staff, the resurrection becomes an inner awakening. And the Bible, then, it's not just a book of faith, but actually a map, a spiritual technology. And now the question is this: are you ready to decode it? Now, if this resonated with you, hit like, hit subscribe, and drop me a comment below, because we'll be teaching about the hidden teachings of the Bible going forward. And I'd love to hear what you would like to learn about next. Now, the truth is waiting, and we are just getting started. I'd love to see you in the next one. We're going to be talking about the Emerald Tablets and Thoth, and we're going to be talking about Manly P. Hall and his works, as well as Atlantis and Plato. And I'd love to see you in the next part. I'll see you soon, guys. Take care.